I think we're live now.
It says we are.
I mean, that'd be cool. Hi, everybody. Welcome to a new edition of Margin Doodles. We're going live with no plan at all. Joining me tonight is my guest, Christy McGee.
Here I am.
Hi, Christy. How are you tonight?
I'm just fine and dandy, John. How are you?
Oh, I'm 2001.
Here I am. Oh, yeah.
Oh, you are watching our show.
I was trying to send the link out, but that didn't work.
I mean, that was spectacular.
I got snow. Did you get snow?
I got 16 inches of snow.
I think that's probably about what I got. I'm very excited about it.
I got 16 inches of snow, and I don't like it because I either have to shovel or pay someone to shovel, which is what I opted to do this time around.
You paid someone to shovel, you big dog.
No, I'm lazy, I'm fat, and I had to work yesterday.
I find shoveling incredibly therapeutic.
I find it incredibly stupid and annoying,
Oh,
and my back doesn't like it at all.
well, I get that. Being a man of a certain age and all.
Yeah, being old, is that what you're trying to say?
I didn't say that.
No, not. I mean, you said it in not so many words.
Shh.
So we have a wild Zach Anderson probably eating shitty wings or bad
Don't,
pizza.
no, listen, John, don't be mean to him. He wants to shovel for you.
He can shovel. He can shovel that shitty food right out of his mouth.
You can pay him in subpar chicken wings.
Oh, Katie's here. Kate,
Hooray!
so I work with Katie,
Mm-hmm.
and Katie happened to mention I think yesterday that you guys need to get together and start talking. And I agree. I think it would be good for both of you. I think you guys would get along famously.
I'm all for it.
Well, I know you're saying you're all for it, but I warned her you might try to turn yourself into a tree if a stranger comes up to you and starts talking.
Well, you don't have to tell everybody my weird quirks.
So Katie, this is Christy. Christy, this is Katie. You guys can talk anytime.
Here I am.
So to pull back the curtain a little bit, we're going live tonight because we have some friends of the show and friends of ours who are going through a really rough time right now, and it's multiple people. So if you think that we're talking about you, we are, right? But there's a lot of you out there who are just having super tough 2021s. I mean, carried over from 2020, but into 2021. Life is catching up with a lot of people. So tonight we are going to talk about a few things. It's going to be a little bit different margin duels. Normally we invite people on, we get stupid. I got a couple of topics I'm going to try to cover with Christy, and we're going to try to make you laugh a little bit, or just not make you cry, like whatever you feel like. If you want to cry, you cry. But get some tissues because nobody wants to clean that shit up. We love you. This is our virtual hug to you.
I'm not much for hugs.
So Christy won't hug you. I will hug you, and Christy will coach me on. She will be my Mickey Goldsmith to my Rocky Balboa of hugging. Is this true, Christy?
I can do that.
Okay. So the first thing I think you need to make me do is hug a chicken.
Hug a
So can you pretend like I am chasing a
Oh
chicken
my god.
around to catch it and yell at me to hug that chicken?
Be like, hug that chicken, John.
Right? So we are going to remake Rocky's training sequences
This is horrifying.
where I am going to hug the things that Rocky punches. So the other thing that I have to do is I think I have to go into a butcher's frozen meat locker and hug some meat. Christy, can you tell me and coach me to hug some frozen meat or just hug some meat? That's fine.
Get in there, John. Hug that meat.
I'm hugging the meat. I'm hugging the meat. Christy, I'm hugging the meat.
It's awful.
Oh, you want me to squeeze the meat?
No.
No, this isn't. We're off the rails already,
This is
Christy.
horrible.
This is not the direction we should have gone in to cheer
This
people
is
up.
like weird. I mean, I'm cheered up, I guess. We got a lot of chickens. Is that a chicken?
So full disclosure, I just watched 2 Rocky movies with my daughters before we went live. We watched Rocky's 3 and 4, and I am so proud of them.
You watched them both right in a row?
Yeah, back to back.
Wow.
Yeah, back to back. We watched Rocky like right after New Year's, and they were kind of depressed afterwards, and like, I don't understand why this is so good. So I let it sit with them for a couple of days, and like, is there a Rocky 2? I'm like, yeah. And like, does he win this time? And the spoiler alert for a movie that's as old as I am. Um, and I'm like, I'm not going to tell you, but you have to watch it to find out. So then they watched Rocky 2, and they were all about Rocky 2, which is my favorite Rocky movie. And then they were like, are there more? I'm like, well, there's several more. I'm like, there are 4 great ones, and then a bunch of really good ones, and Rocky 5. So they know that they're up to Rocky 5 at this point, but they got through Rocky 3, and like, we have to watch Rocky 4 tonight. I'm like, it's an hour and a half. We can watch a music video. This is great. I love
really? It's only an hour and a half?
It's only like an hour and a half. The third one, or the fourth one. Yeah. They're all like 2-hour movies, and then it's like, I'm just I'm gonna play the soundtrack and just fight to the soundtrack.
I think like he knew what he was doing with that one.
Yeah. I mean, it's incredible though. They all hold up. They're just as good as you remember them.
So are the girls like running around like now like boxing it out?
I'm hoping tomorrow I wake up and they're playing Hearts on Fire on their iPads and punching me in the stomach. Like, that's how I want to wake up tomorrow morning.
That's a good call. Was there any like karate action in the house after your Karate Kid Cobra Kai thing?
There were a couple of crane kicks. I didn't think I could get my feet up to the level of their chin, but I did.
Oh, Jesus.
Right? And they fortunately for them, they learned wax on, wax off, and they blocked it. Which was, I didn't think you could.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Another thing I wanted to talk about actually tonight, one of the main things I want to talk about is a movie I didn't realize meant so much to me. That I recently showed them like a week ago because I'm on Mark Riley's Patreon, and part of that, Ikaika challenged me to a match where we pick movies and we fight each other in movies, and he won. Spoiler alert: he beat me. Even with the movies I picked, he smoked me on those questions too. But one of the movies I picked was Better Off Dead. Why are you gritting your teeth?
I've seen it because I feel terrible because I've seen it once and that was like 1,000 years ago and I have like no memory of it at all.
So we are not going to talk about and reminisce and do what people do on these shows, but I did want to talk to you a little bit about why it's important to me.
That's great.
Right? If this makes people want to watch Better Off Dead, that's great. I rewatched it with them, and it wasn't as funny as I remembered it, but it was a lot more heartfelt than I remembered it, which I think is one of the things. Like, I love movies with heart. Like When Harry Met Sally. We're in a community where everyone loves the Marvel movies and they love certain types of movies over Harry Potter. I like movies with a lot of heart, and I'm not taking anything away from that. We just talked about Rocky, and that's one of the main things with Rocky. And now I'm talking to myself because you've muted yourself in the middle of the show, and I'm going to vamp until you come back.
I was cracking my knuckles. I'm sorry.
You can crack your knuckles on the air.
I didn't hear that.
On this show.
It seemed rude. It seems like something you don't do in polite society.
We don't care on this show, right? I'd rather you not be muted and you crack your knuckles like a normal person who has an addiction to cracking knuckles.
I don't know what came over me. I apologize deeply.
So now you've derailed my whole conversation.
I did. That's exactly what I was trying to avoid.
Well, that's why you shouldn't mute yourself. If you just crack your knuckles, it would have been fine.
I thought the popping sound would be distracting.
I hope you learned your lesson.
I will never mute myself again.
Right? Like, we can fart on the air on this show. Right? I can't do it at will, otherwise I would.
I know that.
Right? I'm afraid that if I try to fart at will, I will shit my pants.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Right? Like that just wouldn't be good.
Please don't shit your pants on air.
I mean, it might not be the first time. I'm not going to say whether it is or it isn't, but it may or may not have happened before. So So back to heartfelt movies, right? Like the thing I love about Rocky isn't the fighting. Like I told my girls, and the way I sold it to my girls is Rocky at its heart is a love story. It's about Rocky and Adrian and him being pushed more. Now it gets into like other stuff by 3 and 4, but Rockies 1 and 2 are really a true love story, and that's what I think got them into it. When Harry Met Sally is in my top bunch of movies, like you could
Have
rotate.
have they seen When Harry Met Sally?
They haven't because I don't know how to explain the diner scene to
That's
them.
kind of what I was wondering.
Right? Like I feel comfortable enough where they're laying in bed together in the aftermath of bliss. I can explain that to them. But the actual Meg Ryan having an orgasm, I think all I would say to them is I think she really likes that rye bread or whatever she's eating in Katz's Deli, right?
Yeah, I probably watched that scene a bit too young, but I had the kind of parents who were like, we just don't talk about those things. So it was
Yeah,
just like,
yeah, I had the same parents. I try to not be that cool about it, and I just try to over explain everything they see. It's like the violence in the movie. Yeah, no, that doesn't really happen. Like we watched Die Hard before Christmas, and I'm like, no, this could never really happen. And then, not to get political, but the Capitol riots happened, and the first thing Zoe said to me was, "Does that mean Die Hard could really happen?" I'm like, I think so.
yikes.
Yeah. Oh, we have a question. So Corey Morissette wants to know, from my opinion, your opinion. He's a longtime viewer, first time caller. What's the best way to get rid of hemorrhoids? He's asking for a friend. He's going to hang up and listen. So we can let him hang up. What's the best way to get rid of hemorrhoids, Christy? Anything that pops into your head.
I thought they made a cream for that.
So Christy thinks that there's a cream or a balm. So what I would do is probably go to your fridge and see if you have some Cool Whip or something. Because Cool Whip, I keep it in the freezer and it's really nice. But you get 2 fingers in the Cool Whip, and then you swirl them onto your hemorrhoids, and that should relieve it, or at least sweeten them up a little bit. I'm gonna go with, first of all, do not ride a motorcycle because that will probably agitate them. Um, I would think horseback riding would also be a no go on hemorrhoids. I'm gonna go with an Epsom salt bath,
Oh, that's good. That's a very healing practice.
right? I just feel like whatever that does, that'll relax you and shit.
Yeah, but you're thinking like a warm bath, like when things get warm, they expand. Are we making his friend's problem worse here? Are they
Well,
gonna be
you put
like,
the cold Cool Whip on his ass first, so that chilled it out,
oh,
and
okay.
then I followed up with a relaxing Epsom salt
This
bath.
is a two-step process.
Yeah, it's like not either or; it's yes and.
Okay.
That's what we do on this channel, Christy. We
Yes,
do
and.
yes and,
No.
right? We build on things.
No, no, no. 1,000 times no.
So you
Why
knew
do
if
you
you
still
said it.
have that?
You knew if you said it.
I was
I was
hoping
gonna
it
fuck.
had migrated.
So I got when when Joy was pregnant with Zoe many years ago. The one gift I was given at her baby shower was a no button, which I am now in the process of cleaning stuff out and going through stuff, and I found. So the no button
No.
is going to be the newest member of the pants panel. And when we bring back Are We Wearing Pants, to annoy the boys, to annoy Christy, who's now going to be new to the pants panel this year, I will be pressing no a lot.
Those are fresh batteries, or those are the original
Those
batteries?
are the original batteries, but I finally took the little strip out that prevented the battery from connecting. So they're kind of fresh.
Well, this will be fun.
Oh, you have no
Well,
idea.
I do suspect that there might be some competing buttons also joining the mix if the rumors are true.
I feel like you listen to rumors and you speculate irresponsibly.
I definitely speculate irresponsibly.
I feel like you should take your time, take it in, let it breathe, and if it happens, let it happen.
There's literally zero fun in that.
I maybe, but I think that's how you avoid hemorrhoids. Corey, that's another tip.
Speculate responsibly to avoid hemorrhoids.
Also, Corey, tips will inflame hemorrhoids. Christy, get us back on the rails.
No.
Better off dead. Better off dead. So, Better Off Dead. In watching the movie, I had created a cartoon character, which we use on Margin Doodles. Actually, where's this? Let me bring this up. So this character here in the middle here, that's my character Jake. I created when I was about 12. And while I was in school, I created this, and he was kind of like the better version of me. Jake played saxophone. Jake drove a really awesome car, like you see here. I made it red. But everything that he does was modeled after Lloyd Dobler from Better Off Dead. And I didn't realize until I watched the movie. Jake plays saxophone. Lloyd plays saxophone. Jake, drives his car. I think I had him skiing at one point. It was all subconsciously or consciously modeled after Lloyd, which I guess meant more to me than I realized as far as movie characters go. Is there a movie character or characters or events in a movie in your life that, if you think about it, have impacted you in a way that have either changed your behavior or you've modeled things after?
Nothing positive.
Well, I mean, I'm not here to judge. This is my brother. When we go away, we go away to the same place in the Catskills every year. We've been doing it since we were kids.
Like Dirty Dancing?
Exactly like Dirty Dancing, actually. It's like one of those places, but like now, and it hasn't really modernized much. So every Monday night they do bingo. And we do shots bingo. And after shots bingo, my brother one night said, and we were telling stories, and we were a little hammered and catching up. And my brother said, somebody said something, and it was like they tried to take it back as if it were offensive or something. My brother said, "No, you can't take it back. This is a judgment-free zone." And that I'm growing that out to Margin Doodles and actually Feeding the Monster. Here at Feeding the Monster, we do not judge. If you have something that you consider bad behavior, inappropriate behavior, or anything like that, we might not endorse it, because if it's dangerous, we don't endorse it. But we at least accept that this behavior is part of your life, and we don't judge you for it. So, Christy, with that, please share.
Oh, Jesus. Well, that was like a really eloquent version of like Mark's "Don't Kink Shame." So there's that. I don't know. Like, I think I'm trying to think if there was anything that really had like that big of an effect on me. I wasn't a movie kid. There was probably maybe like 10 movies. Like,
well, it could be a TV show. It could
be
any kind of pop culture thing, right? It could be a comic book for all I care, like a book you read.
I read a lot of Stephen King books when I was a kid, and I think a lot of that had effects on me, like, where like I'm a little suspicious and distrustful of people.
I mean, I read a lot of King too, and that's fair. It probably gave you a lot of patience too, because the payoff, it takes a long time to hit in those books.
I do, like, a lot of his books are really like, a lot of it takes place like in the characters' minds, and I do think that makes me kind of how I am, where I'm quiet and I'm always listening to people, and just sort of trying to figure out like what makes them tick, because I really like somebody else's internal monologue.
Yeah, I don't mind that, as long as it's not narration. Like, it works in a book. It doesn't work so much in like a TV or a movie where they're telling you their thoughts. I don't care. Like, just do something.
Right. You're like, well, that sounds really cool. I'd rather like to see it. Thank you.
Yeah. Speaking of things I'd like to see, our friend Corey, or our friend Corey's friend, rubbed the Cool Whip on the problem area. Now the dog won't leave him alone. He's trapped on top of his dining room table. Please advise. Christy, do you have any advice for Corey's friend?
Let's call his friend Rodney.
Okay. Do you have any advice for Rodney?
Um, well, this is quite the pickle that you've gotten yourself in. I would have recommended locking the dog up beforehand, but we can't close the barn door once the horse has left it, right? So I'm gonna assume that you are a fancy person and you have a tablecloth on your dining room table. So you should remove it. Be careful not to slip off, and throw it on the dog to temporarily distract him while your friend Rodney makes his escape.
So I feel like what I learned from everything Christy just said is she hates dogs. And
I hate you so much.
And she's going to get upset at me for saying this. But the reality is, Corey, the first thing you should advise your friend is not to let his dog lick his anus. Because sugar is bad for dogs. Right? If I know anything about dogs, it's chocolate and sugar are bad. So my first concern is for the dog. So what I would do is I would I'm hoping your friend has a sizable hand, and plant it in between his cheeks, which might feel a little gross and maybe a little warm. But the soothing coolness of the Cool Whip on the palm of the hand will help counterbalance this. More importantly, it will protect the dog's tongue from licking the Cool Whip. Christy, any rebuttals?
He could wipe off all of the Cool Whip with the tablecloth.
That probably would also have been good advice. See,
I combined our advices.
Christy finally decided she cares about dogs.
Teamwork. Shut up. I love my dog.
Okay. Now, Zach Anderson, he wants him to take 2 chickens and sacrifice them to Joe Boo.
Are these the chickens that you were just hugging?
I mean, if the chickens I'm hugging, then I would happily eat them myself. I wouldn't sacrifice them to Joe Boo. We don't believe in religious dominations here. You can have a denomination if you want, or dominations, but we don't choose one over the other. So whether it's Joe Boo or somebody else, I pray to the altar of Don Mattingly, like most people do. Christy, who do you pray to?
Don Mattingly sounds good, and occasionally Tom Hanks.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. Tom Hanks is fair.
I do have a James Hetfield shrine in my office.
I don't mind that. I don't think I have a shrine in here. I have a lot of like cool statues and stuff, but no actual like shrines to things.
Not yet.
No, I don't think I will. I used to have a shrine, right? But I feel like I like diversity in my displays at this point.
I think you're going to build a shrine to Jeff in your bedroom.
I wouldn't. I would just get a real doll or a standee of Jeff. Probably a real doll.
Fair. Maybe we could get like a 2-for-1 deal on that.
Corey's friend is not 85 years old, so no tablecloth.
I have a tablecloth. Are you calling me old?
My leg is literally rubbing up against the tablecloth right now. Again, Corey, this is a judge-free zone.
Corey thinks we're old.
We don't mind your comments, Corey. We prefer them not to be judgmental, so I'm trying to coach you a little bit right now.
I'm furious.
You can't be furious on this show.
Look how furious I am.
You are not allowed to be furious on this show.
Look how... Well, that's a good call.
All right, Christy, why don't you read Zach's comment?
I usually pray at the altar of Daddy Thomas.
Good, because I didn't feel like reading that comment.
Why not? It's so festive.
I would get on my hands and knees and pray to Thomas, but not Daddy Thomas.
You only like to call him Daddy in private. I get it. It's cool.
I'll
do it in public.
It is not our safe word. Thomas knows our safe word, and one day he will share it with you. But it is not Daddy.
I can't wait.
Right? It's Donut.
It's not Timbit?
It's a Timbit. Timbit.
Can we talk about the cake guts?
Yeah, we should talk about the cake guts, right?
I've been thinking about this all day. I have concerns. I'm suspicious. I'm a little upset. And you know what? I didn't even see how much they were selling for. And when I see that, I'll probably be furious again. So I don't know if you actually want to go down this road.
No, I do, because I feel like we should exercise your anger a little bit.
I
right?
feel like you're going to tell me it's like $40 a jar, and I'm going to go ballistic.
So I'm gonna look it up while you do that. You vent about and vamp about that for a minute.
So John sends me a screenshot or something earlier about a product called Cake Guts. And basically, it is a jar of cake pieces. So like if you were baking a cake and you went to go take it from like the oven to your counter, and you accidentally dropped it and then exploded all over the floor, it's like they picked that up and put it in a jar and then put those little plastic babies, the little naked like little baby Jesuses, I think. It's like a Mardi Gras thing or something. And they were sitting in these little cake jars like a hot tub, and it was grotesque, and it just felt like demoted reject cake, and I found it very upsetting. Also, the name Cake Guts is kind of weird. I just think these are suspicious cakes.
So I am bringing them up right now so we could share it with our friends.
Oh, it's only $9
Only $9.
for
And you
two or for one.
I'm not sure. I think
I
they're
think
showing
it's
you.
probably just one.
It's probably just one. I think they're showing you the front and the back to see the logo of Cake Guts.
I mean,
I mean,
I would definitely eat these, but
I mean, the way I picture the commercial is stuff them in your face, Cake Guts. Right?
I like it. Green light.
Right? Like something like that. Like a little like heavy metal voice, and then like, but this, like, I'm a little disappointed with the flavors.
It's like a cake parfait, though, right? Because if you look at it, it appears to be like cake and then icing, then cake and then icing.
Okay, what this says to me is I'm a really shitty baker.
And I just keep dropping these cakes. I can't get them out of the pan right.
No, I don't even think it's that, right? I think they either overcook, like I overcook my cakes a lot, so they crack on top,
Yeah.
and they just look like shit. And then by the time I finish cutting it looks
But
stupid.
there's nothing to say this cake didn't fall on the floor.
Right. Like I can cook, I just can't bake.
And I feel like now that I'm looking, it's like half icing. And so that now it feels like kind of a ripoff.
I feel like if we were in the marketing room for this, right? And you're like, I want to call it Cake Guts. I'm like, why don't we just call it cake horseshit? Because it's kind of like a horseshit cake.
Because it's not really the guts.
Right? It's not. The guts are the inside. This is just...
It's the whole cake just in weird layers. Yeah. And Zach is absolutely right. This is an insult to cake. This is offensive.
I got a personal message from Katie while we were doing this, and she's laughing hysterically.
Uh-oh.
Just so you know.
Well, that's good. Would she eat these? I need to know. When we hang out, are we eating jars of cake guts? See, like, but
Katie, can you post? Come back to the comments and post, and let Christy McGee know if you will share Cake Guts with her.
No, we can't share anything. It's a pandemic, but we can get 2 jars.
I mean, are you in the clear?
I do have the antibodies. I have all the antibodies.
So I mean, I'm in a pandemic. You're on the outside looking in at this point.
Sorry, I didn't want to brag about all my antibodies.
I know. I wanted you to be able to brag a little. Look, this is the feel good show.
All right, now I feel better.
Okay, I'm in the tunnel right now with the rest of the people, and you're the light at the end of the tunnel right now. You're like, I'm the savior, right? So we have to sacrifice Christy McGee and take her blood so we can live.
Oh, this got out of control. My room is already set up for sacrifice, so I guess I set myself up for this.
Right, like you're the one with the altars and all this stuff. I'm trying to keep things calm, and that's not my bag.
This is very fair.
I'm gonna get rid of the Cake Guts because they kind of depress me.
It was very distracting. Wait, but you never actually told me how you feel about them. Do you agree with me? Are they an abomination?
I mean, how do I feel?
Yeah. No.
I'm not sure how I feel.
No, you're not.
I'm not sure at all.
Oh, Jesus.
You know what just moved in near me, Christy?
Oh, could it be Tim Hortons?
It could be.
Oh my God, you have another one? How many of those did you get?
I got 6.
You're a monster.
I got 6. I share them with my daughter. This one's stale. I don't care.
I could not. Ugh.
It's like a little crunchy.
Oh God.
At this point, it's so good though.
You know, the thing is, I would probably like a stale donut better than a fresh donut. I'm a connoisseur of stale food. I love it. I love old stale food. I'm disgusting. I'm so sorry.
I mean, the front of it looks like it's jizzing all over itself.
That's how they look anyway.
It's so good though. Tim Hortons. So Katie's jealous at this point. I don't
No,
care.
no, no, Katie, that's Boston cream. That's not jelly.
No, I would have got jelly. Jelly's my favorite. Boston cream is my second favorite.
Jelly donut is your favorite, really?
I like fillings on my donuts. I do.
I like honestly, my favorite donut is like your standard like cake donut, plain, no glaze, no powdered sugar, nothing, just plain ass cake donut, like a couple of days old.
I mean, you like boring donuts.
That's my favorite donut. I don't
I mean,
like I'm not like an icing Is it icing or frosting? What's the verdict here?
it depends. It depends on who's making it. I think this is more of a dip or a
It's like
frosting,
like a ganache.
right? Well, I don't mind the ganache.
I don't know if that's right. I have no idea what I'm saying.
Katie likes coconut donuts, and Zach wants you to keep your stale donuts.
Good, I will. He could just put the stale donuts in the igloo and I will be fine. I like coconut stuff. I like whenever there's like that big Valentine's Day box of candy, I'm always looking for the coconut ones. That and the ones with the like the pink fluff in them. I don't know what that is, but it's delicious.
So I know I give you a lot of shit for pineapple on pizza.
I love it so much.
But like I'll eat a barbecue pizza with pineapple on it. I won't eat it with sauce, but I'll eat it by. Truth be told, I'll eat a barbecue pizza with pineapple on it. Like,
Oh, clip this out, people. This is the blackmail we've been waiting for.
But what I will never eat, and this is in all seriousness, is fucking coconut anything.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like
You-
coconut at all.
You can't have I know you can't have lobster. Can you have shrimp?
I can't eat shellfish of any sort. Right?
Is
So
shrimp a shellfish?
shrimp is apparently even like
A
octopus and
crustacean?
shit
Yeah.
is made out of like the same material, like
Ooh.
whatever they got going on.
Shellfish is a very misleading term then.
Right, because I can't even have like calamari, right?
Oh, John, my heart breaks for you. Good Lord.
Yeah, there's a lot of good shit I can't eat.
I was like, yo,
But
coconut shrimp is amazing.
like I developed it as a teenager, so I know what this shit tastes like.
Zach is trash.
No, Zach's right. Coconut is the worst. Like coconut's a garbage fruit.
I'm going to fill a donut with coconut and give it to Zach.
I'm gonna catch it when you give it to Zach and throw it at you.
That's aggressive and hurtful.
I mean that's what Drax the Destroyer would do.
You are not Drax the Destroyer. I'm
I know,
fairly
but
certain of
but
this.
why don't we role play right now? I'll be
Oh
Zach.
no, I will never roleplay online.
No, I'm sure you have. What I need you to do is offer Zach a coconut or a coconut anything, and I'll be Zach.
A coconut anything?
Yeah, you can offer. I'll be Zach. You come up with like the best coconut thing you can offer, and offer it to me, Zach.
I'm more interested in this. What are you holding out on me? There's a donut that you're keeping from me?
I have this donut.
Oh, no, her donut. Oh, I'm outnumbered here. Has Katie weighed in on the coconut thing?
I think Katie likes coconut.
Okay, well there we go. That's all I need. The rest of you can just psh. So anyway, so hey Zach, I made my grandmother's world famous coconut macaroons. Can I interest you in some?
No!
You're the devil.
Katie's gonna have to remind me what her donut is because I do not.
Is
know.
this a euphemism?
Oh no! She messaged me a donut,
Oh, that's what I'm asking.
so I had to go open another window.
I didn't know if you were hoarding
So
donuts.
Katie, the way this works in producing the show is that I am looking at Christy as we're doing the show. So if you send me something in another window, I have to go
man.
find it. And if I don't know it's there, I don't know to find it. So when you're yelling at me my donut, it takes my brain a long time to figure that out because I'm not smart, especially like way after work like this.
I mean, I kind of thought that's where she was going with it, that she had sent you a donut separately and that you were holding it out on me because you are a monster.
No, I was holding it out on you because I'm not that smart.
Oh. Zach just insulted my grandmother. Oh wow, that looks fun.
That
The
is Katie's
lighting on the
donut.
lighting on that is just marvelous.
Yeah, Katie, are you a on the side photographer?
Yeah, look at like the little air pockets. Everything's so in focus. All the little flakes. This is
I,
great.
I mean, are you using a digital SLR there? Are you using a traditional SLR? What's going
Is
on,
this
Katie?
portrait mode?
Right?
Oh, it's a work of art.
It would be if it wasn't covered in coconut.
Listen, I want you to take the moon out of that logo that you made, and I want you to replace it with this donut
So what you're
because
saying
it's
is
beautiful. No, I
you
know you're going with this.
you
Don't do it. I
prefer
love
Katie's
everybody. No,
photography
god damn it.
over Daddy's photography.
Oh, I walked right into that one.
I think
Thank
we have to
you.
let Daddy know this.
No, I think Daddy does not need to know this.
I hope Daddy's watching at some point and goes, "My heart breaks right now,
Daddy
Christy.
knows how much I love him and how much I love to horrify him.
You broke Daddy's heart."
This is hurtful. This is
I can't believe I'm
incredibly
calling this
hurtful.
man Daddy. He's
I
like
live for this.
14 years my junior or some shit like
Every
that.
time it comes out of your mouth, like my heart gets a little bit larger.
I don't like it. So
I'm
we
like
have
the
been,
Grinch over here, just bursting with love.
well, I guess most of our audience knows, but Katie might not know, but she's heard about it. We've been playing Dungeons and Dragons like every Sunday. What do you think about this, Christy?
It's my first time playing, so I have nothing to compare it to, but I think it's awesome, and I think Thomas, who we are supposed to call Daddy, does an amazing job at wrangling our little ragtag group of idiots.
So I'd like to correct you a few things there.
Oh boy.
Thomas is doing an extremely amazing job writing the story and directing us in ways that because none of us are experienced players. He's not Daddy though. Like you chose to call him Daddy in either before or during gameplay.
This is not true. I gotta find the receipts. God damn it.
I'm pretty sure the Daddy came from you.
It did not.
It didn't come from me.
I'll get it.
Okay,
I'm
well,
gonna find
Christy
this.
looks at that and shows us her head
God
cleavage.
damn it. I can't win. I can't win. It's coming to me from all angles.
So let me explain what head cleavage is to any of our new watchers. Katie's our new watcher right
No, we've
now.
never talked about hair cleavage on live.
Yeah.
That's always a private torture.
So I've been torturing Christy about hair cleavage every time she looks down, because Christy has an Instagram account where she gets the dirt of the earth showing up in her DMs, doing the worst pickup lines to her. So I
Well,
invented
that
the
one guy told me my fish was sexy. That was pretty good.
what was that even in reference to?
I think he meant to say face. He said my chest was so delicious and my fish was so sexy.
Yeah. So Christy has people on her Instagram account saying mildly very inappropriate things to her. So, in jest, kind of picking on them, I made Christy very self-conscious that I have some kind of weird head fetish, and I'm attracted to hair cleavage. And hair cleavage is very simply the little bit of scalp that shows in between your hairline. So, Katie, just so you know, this is hair cleavage. It's the world's newest, trendiest fetish. I know that there are furries. I know that there are people who are into like pleather play. There are some who are into spanking, tying it up, tickle torture. I know all these things. One of the guys was into wigs. He wanted to relieve himself on a
He
wig.
said please.
Yes, his request was, "May I relieve myself to a picture of your wig, please?"
Really,
And I think that's what led
close
to
enough.
me explaining to Christy the trend, the new trend being what do they call it? Hair cleavage. So hair cleavage or head cleavage is just showing the smallest part of your scalp. Some guys are into belly buttons, other guys are into ankles, some guys are into feet. The newest guys, the coolest guys, are into hair cleavage.
Newest
Mark that down for
coolest.
2021.
I'm sorry, I can't find my evidence.
You-
There's too much information to sift through.
So Christy just went through the Willy Wonka ride, tried to find receipts, and failed.
I failed. Listen, I'm gonna do my homework on this. I'm going to vindicate myself.
Okay, so the next time we do margin duels, come prepared.
What? No, that's not the rules. The rules were clear.
It's a very loose show tonight.
I didn't realize I was gonna have to defend calling Thomas daddy.
I mean, you're the one who came up with it.
I don't think that's true. I don't know what's going on with my hair here. I apologize.
So I guess one of the other things I wanted to bring up tonight, and this will be fun for you to talk about. I was trying to remember things that I used to do to have fun before social media and before video games, and like a lot of the stuff that we like kids today do, or even we do today. And I used to walk a lot. Apparently, like I didn't get my license till I was 19. So I walked my neighborhood and other neighborhoods with my friends a lot. And in doing so, I would carry around my boombox and listen to music the whole way. I'd make mix CDs or mix tapes.
Like a big.
Like a big like a big boom. I had a boombox. My arm should have been
Did you
jacked.
like up here like this,
No,
or did you carry it like a suitcase?
I carried it like a suitcase.
I was a bicycle and Discman kid.
Yeah.
Yep.
So in riding around your neighborhood, what are some of the bands and music you would find yourself listening to?
When I was doing my most like bike riding to get places, which was probably when I was like 14 or 15, I was really big into the Gin Blossoms.
Oh, nice.
That was my, that was like the one, because it's like, you know, you had your little Discman, and I had my little like windbreaker that had like a pouch pocket in the front, so I would put it right in there so I could ride with it, because if it was a hoodie, it would always get like ripped out of the pocket, so the top loading pouch pocket was great. And I didn't carry any other stuff with me because that would be too bulky, and like, you know, the Discman I had was pretty sizable, because I'm not super young. So they were pretty big, so I couldn't fit like any other CDs, so that was like my one CD that I would go around with.
Yeah, I had my CDs. I would carry around my CD case, and I would carry around my boombox, and we'd just walk around. And I'd just pray it wouldn't rain, or I wouldn't even think about rain probably.
So you had like a boombox in one hand and like a case of CDs in the other hand. You were just like
No, I kept the case of CDs in my backpack on my back.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. I was like, you're like a salesman on a mission.
Yeah. I just walk around. Excuse me. Have you heard of or Save Your Guns N' Roses? And knock on the door.
You're like, I'd like to sell you these encyclopedias, ma'am.
Like I would play the shit out of the Use Your Illusions. Usually Use Your Illusion 1 more so than 2. But I would play the shit out of those, and then as I got a little bit older, it was a lot of the alternative stuff like Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, Nirvana.
See, this is like, what you're describing is like my worst nightmare. Walking around and having other people being able to hear what I'm listening to is horrifying to me.
I grew up in a very music-friendly neighborhood. A couple of guys I went to high school lived down the block from me, and I would say several blocks down from me, probably like 4 or 5 streets down. And I would spend every Saturday morning, I'd open my window and they would do band practice. It would just jam out in the garage. And I could hear it all the way down the block. And that was like the soundtrack of my youth, was like them jamming out, practicing.
That's really fun.
Yeah. So, I mean, we didn't care a lot about, you could open your window and hear anybody walking by listening to whatever they were listening to. That's how you discovered a lot of new music, you know, growing up. That's how I did, at least.
That's why you are a social creature and I am a...
No, I didn't say hi to people. Fuck that.
No, I was the kind of kid, I never wanted you to know what I was doing or what I was into. So like I had like my headphones for my music, and when I had books, I always had like hardcover books. I would take the jacket off so like it was harder for you to see. I just didn't want anyone to come and talk to me about it.
I mean, no, but that's fair because I've been watching. So the other thing I've been doing lately, Freaks and Geeks just came back on Hulu, like in all its glory, and I've been watching that with the kids. and I realized I'm like growing up. I was a little bit of both. I was definitely a geek, but I was also a very antisocial freak.
Mm-hmm.
My circle was pretty small. I got along with just about everybody, or bullied by most people. And then I would hang out at the grammar school at night, the elementary school at night, and we called it the porch, and just hang out there, just talking, not doing drugs, not drinking, not doing anything other than bullshitting till all hours of the night. Loitering. I was a loiterer. How about you?
Yeah. No, you know what I think part of my problem was is where I grew up in New Rochelle, and my parents weren't crazy about the school system there. But my grandmother was a nurse at a private school in the nearby town, so they got me enrolled in there. I think she had like a coupon or something for tuition. Um, and so I didn't live near anybody that I went to school with. And then because we lived in kind of like not the greatest area, we got home to our little apartment and stayed in there until I was a little bit older, and then we moved to like a neighborhood.
Yeah,
So like people like where I grew up, like loitering was bad. Only bad people loitered.
yeah. That's what they said in my neighborhood. But then I loitered, and I was considered the good kid, right? So Zach wants to point out that he listened to rock and punk, and didn't want anybody to know because everyone was into rap and hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
And we had similar high school experiences. And yeah, Zach, I would say that that's probably true. I appreciate rap. Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg were probably two of my bigger rap albums growing up. If you want to count the Beastie Boys, I could go as early as Run DMC on that as well. Like I adore Run DMC, but I didn't really appreciate it until I got a little bit older.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say, Zach, it'll come. Christiane, any comment on Zach's music taste?
No, I mean that's the kind of stuff I was listening to, and but I wasn't embarrassed about what I was listening to. I just didn't want to engage with anybody about it.
That's fair. I mean, we passed around mixtapes a lot. My buddy Bob realized in like middle school, I wasn't exposed to a lot of music growing up. My first album I listened to, and this probably would make Josh McCougar proud, was I listened to the A and B side of the cassette Sports. That was the first cassette I owned. I was a huge Huey Lewis guy growing up,
Ah.
and my brother was a huge Stevie Wonder guy. We went to the record store, and my mom said you could each buy a 45.
Wow.
We still own them. My brother has. I just called to say I love you, and I have John Parr's "Man in Motion," the theme song from St. Elmo's Fire, which is still among my favorite songs ever.
That's awesome. Did you pick up any like musical tastes from your parents?
I Here and there. I Let's just answer Corey's question, and then I'll come back to that.
Mm-hmm.
Corey's whole upbringing was saturated with awful country music, and the only thing he had to rebel against was hair metal. It was glorious.
That sounds glorious. I
So,
like country music though.
one of the big things in high school when we started drinking wine coolers because we hadn't acquired that taste for beer yet. We would listen to John Denver's "Thank God I'm a Country Boy" after we got drunk and just
This
scream the lyrics.
this right here, what Zach said, that's me exactly.
I have a
It's
soft
that
spot for '90s and 2000s country music.
yeah, that was like when it like saturated in me.
I would say that's fair. Like I listen to a lot of that. Like that place I go to, the Catskills, um, before having satellite radio or anything. When you hit a certain part
Mm-hmm.
of leaving New York, you only get country music. So there was a week of my life every year where would listen to rock music on the jukebox
Mm-hmm.
and country music in the car. But
Yeah, that's actually a really good point about what you say about the radio stations because I think I picked it up. Those were like when me and my family were doing the most amount of camping, and it was like we are like up in the Adirondacks and stuff, and you could only get like a country station. So I think that's where that came in for me.
so to circle it back to your question about my music influences, my mo sort of. So my mother is a huge Beatles fan, and I appreciate the Beatles.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. They're not my go-to. My mother was also a big Elvis fan, and similarly, I appreciate Elvis and the influence he had, but it's not my go-to. My cousins, when I was young, we would go where I live now on Long Island. My aunt lived out here. This was considered the country back then. So we would go out to the country, and I go to my aunt had like a split level house or whatever, and I would go upstairs to my cousin's room, and they would put on Zeppelin, and that to me, the sounds were the coolest thing in the world. So Zeppelin was like my first like cool music to listen to, and think
Mm-hmm.
something to this day where I listen to every song. And Aerosmith was another one, like Toys in the Attic, like '70s Aerosmith.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, I told my dad about this, and my dad's a huge Who fan. My dad owns every Who album. My dad introduced me to Tommy and some of the big Who albums. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. And then some Queen. Then I get into school, and my buddy Bob gives me a mixtape. And other than Guns N' Roses, I wasn't really into a lot of bands at that time. And he introduced me to Alice in Chains and Nine Inch Nails, Ozzy Osbourne, and just a lot of things I wasn't listening to until seventh grade. One of my friends tried to get me into like really heavy metal, like King Diamond,
Mm-hmm.
and that just wasn't my speed. But a lot of this other stuff I listen to this day, where I'll pop it on YouTube and introduce the girls to it. When Eddie Van Halen died, we did like 4 hours straight of playing Van Halen music, and they went nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Katie's going nuts because it said Queen,
Oh yeah,
and
that was one I picked up from my dad as well.
yeah, I mean, I think Queen's kind of a universal band.
Yeah.
Um, Another one I got into in high school was the Doors. Um, I like rock. I like metal. I like country. I like
Mm-hmm.
R&B a little bit. I can mix it up.
Good mom.
Yeah, Zach's mom with Queen, Journey, and Styx. I have no problem there, Zach.
My
You're,
mom was definitely like older. She was like where I got like an appreciation for like Sinatra and like Frankie Valli, but she was like a huge Barry Manilow fan. Barry Manilow and Kenny
oh,
Rogers, that was like her shit. So there was a lot of Barry Manilow in my house. Oh, and the Beach Boys.
yeah,
Tons of it.
I have feelings about the Beach Boys, but they're not good feelings.
Oh god. They make me so nostalgic. Like their Christmas album just like makes me so joyful.
My dad's best friend, who helped me paint this house and helped me like repair stuff in this house, is a huge.
Are you gonna ruin the Beach Boys for me?
No, not at all.
Okay.
He's a huge Beach Boys fan. So I spent 2.5, 3 weeks
Okay.
listening to the Beach Boys, only the Beach Boys, for 2.5, 3 weeks.
I
I
thought
mean,
you were gonna be like, I know this guy, like one of the Beach Boys touched him or something, and I'm
no,
just gonna be like,
no,
no, please don't.
no, not at all. This is what look. I don't know if you've caught up yet, but we're not doing bits tonight. We're just
It
waxing.
could be true.
Oh, it could be, but I'm trying to keep it positive and happy because we have people we're trying to cheer up.
Sorry. And so my dad was like, he was a little bit cooler, I think, because he was like Queen and Aerosmith, and he was big into like Billy Joel and Elton John and the Beatles, and those were like his. Remember, he made me get him that Beatles like number one album for his
So,
birthday one year.
so Katie is really excited about Corey seeing Queen twice, and I got very depressed with what you just said because you mentioned Elton John on this show. And
Why?
Elton John makes me very sad.
He makes you sad?
He does.
That was not my intention. I didn't
So,
know.
so I will explain. Um, I think everybody on the show knows what's going on in my marriage. My marriage is dissolving, for lack of a better word. But I made a lot of good sacrifices that good boyfriends and good husbands make over the years. So we're going to talk about this in a positive light to show why I'm so negative on Elton John. So I had bought Joy and I tickets, and I have certain white whales in concerts I haven't seen yet. And I've been trying to knock them off little by little over time. Unfortunately, I'll never see Eddie Van Halen now, and that's very sad. It's sad for the Van Halen family. I love that band. I passed on them the last time they were coming around and was hoping to catch them the next time around, and the next time will never come. Um, Somebody that I'm still hoping to see is Elton John, and here's why. When I was a screw up in school, and when I finally decided to go back to school, I was finally doing it right in college, and it was like not, I was like 9 years a freshman and going back and taking it seriously. And I had my teacher get sick for one of my finals, and in getting sick, it was rescheduled for the night of the Billy Joel Elton John concert at Madison Square Garden. So I had a choice of taking school seriously
Oh.
or going to see Billy Joel and Elton John, and I chose to take school seriously. And I gave Joy and her friend the tickets that were intended for Joy and I. So Joy has seen Elton John and Billy Joel, and I've now seen Billy Joel because he thankfully has done a major run at the Garden. I saw it before the world closed down, but I've still never seen Elton John live.
Oh.
And I don't know if with the pandemic and everything, and if he ever performs again, if I'll get a chance to see him. Corey thinks I still have time to see Elton John, but my concern, Corey, is by the time the world opens up, I don't know. I don't know if he's going to tour or have concerts at that point. Like, we don't know, and I'm a little sad and I'm hopeful because I am a huge Elton John fan. Right, like I'm a huge Billy Joel fan. Billy Joel, and this probably gives away too much for the internet, but I don't care. Grew up the town next to the town I grew up in.
Mm-hmm.
So when he sings Scenes from Italian Restaurant, I've driven or bicycled to the places he's singing about.
But did you walk by them with your boombox?
There's a very good possibility. I mean, I'll be honest with you, there was a lot of times where I was walking with my boombox, and this was when I was much younger. And some of those are in what I call the fuzzy years, Christy. And the fuzzy years start when I start drinking and continue through I discover smokable herbs. So there's some fuzzy years in there where they either blend together or the memories get a little bit exaggerated at times because.
Oh well.
That nostalgia makes me want to bust some
Oh
food.
God, you still have that thing.
I do.
I had forgotten about it.
I'm milking it.
I've
That's what
never
we call
seen
callback.
I've never seen anybody take so long to eat a donut.
You've never seen anybody eat a donut on air.
This is probably fair. So, back in the before times in my office building, we have a centralized break room, and people will often just leave like platters or boxes or whatever of food out on the counter in there, and then eventually it'll disappear. We call it the Bermuda Triangle. But every so often, someone will bring in like a big box of donuts, like one of those flat boxes of donuts. And you'll go by there, and there'll be like one missing, and then you'll find like a half a donut there. And then every once in a while, someone has left a quarter of a donut. Like they're cutting it with a knife, and they're taking. I'm like, you monsters, you absolute monsters.
I promised that we were going to keep it positive today.
I'm sorry,
but everybody can see I'm leaning in right now. If you are one of these monsters, I want you to lean in right now. Who the fuck do you think you are? Honestly, who the fuck do you think you're kidding? Okay, eat the whole donut or leave the fucking donut behind. Nobody wants your shitty leftovers in the break room. Take the whole goddamn donut. Give the rest of it to fucking birds for all I care. But it's rude, it's insulting, and honestly, it infuriates me that you have the balls to leave these fucking donuts behind. Christy, do you think I'm overreacting, or is this
no, that's exactly how I feel on the inside. It's a horrible thing. I feel so happy right now.
We are in such lockstep on this thing.
Absolutely.
Right? And while we're at it, right, you motherfucker who is sneaking down here and stealing the fucking birthday cake. Okay, it's not your goddamn department. You have no business touching the fucking cake. Get out. I used to work in medical records. I know exactly what you're dealing with.
People steal bagels from my department all the time.
Okay, can I tell you, I used to work in medical records, and we're going to throw people under the bus who either probably aren't alive anymore, long time retired, or something. But we're going to throw them under the bus.
I thought we were supposed to be positive.
I don't give a shit. You struck a nerve, Christy.
I'm hoping open the.
Okay. So they used to do like
Sorry, I opened the floodgates.
they used to do like doctor conferences and shit in the cafeteria where I worked. And there were like 5 or 6 ladies from upstairs, and I don't care whether they were ladies or men. These happened to be ladies from upstairs, receptionists and whatnot. That would come down with their own fucking plates, okay, and
Like-
come down
Like paper
and wait.
plates or like China plates?
No, like paper plates that they would keep
Okay.
under the desk. No, but it gets worse. And the door would be closed, and as soon as the door would open and doctors would filter out, they dive in for whatever the leftovers of what they ordered and load their fucking plates up like they were like they were sneaking into a fucking wedding, right?
Oh my God.
Then they would go upstairs and they would have saran wrap under their fucking desk and cover their plate to bring home.
Oh wow! So it's not even like this is my lunch.
Well, like I said, it's fucked up and it gets worse, right?
There used to be a lady that I shared an office with who would do that. We would have cake or something, and she would come back with 3 pieces of cake, and she would saran wrap 2 of them and put them in her big bag. She's like, "This is for me and my husband."
Yeah, it wasn't just that bad, right? Like it was bad, right? And it was the same 5 or 6 women every time that would do this, and I would go down there because the copy machines were down there too, and I would have to copy records and stuff for work. And I would go down there to the copy machines, and I would just shake my head. I would look at them with like that disappointed look.
Disapproving John.
I was just saying like a disappointing dad look, but I was like 16 or 17 years old.
Listen,
working this job,
some people are born with that look.
right, and I would just look at them and just shake my head in disapproval of like,
This is my last word. No!
right. So I think I'm striking a nerve with a lot of people. It seems like Katie knows these people. We all know these people who steal food, poach food.
I work in healthcare. One would assume that the people I am coworkers with have like a certain level of like, I don't know, common sense, intelligence. Who knows?
Decorum.
Anything. So like in our bathrooms at work, there's a garbage receptacle on the wall by the sink. There is now a separate cylindrical garbage receptacle on the floor next to the toilet, and then there is hanging off of each toilet has like one of those metal bars in the wall next to it. Hanging off of that is like a little baggie holder like you get for like dog poop bags. Also for holding any sort of item. Because we had such a huge problem with people flushing things that they shouldn't be flushing and flooding the bathrooms. So now we have to have 3 separate means of disposing items in the bathroom, as well as like 6 different signs. It's just got 4 walls in there of saying, only toilet paper in the toilet. Like, come on, stop it. And it blows my mind. I'm like, who are these people? So I won't participate in any potlucks because I feel like people who can't handle a bathroom, I don't trust like their homes that they're bringing this food from.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm always skeptical of people I don't trust bringing food to me. I'm picky as it is. I consider myself a good cook, Christy, and this isn't me blowing my own horn.
I mean, it certainly seems like you are.
I've tortured Thomas with pictures of food that I cook all the time.
You have tortured me with pictures of food.
I have tortured. I'm pretty sure I've tortured Katie with food. I've tortured most of the people in the chat with food I cook. I haven't tortured Corey. I've been trying to teach Corey better ways to cook, and I'm trying to help him out with some of my better recipes. I just gave him a great one for turkey tenderloin I made the other night.
I, for one, am very excited for grilling seasons to start back up at the Mariano residence.
I will gladly share grilling pictures when it's time.
I love those pictures.
See, Katie is in agreement that I have tortured her with food pictures. And I make a mean steak. I make a mean a lot of things,
I
right?
had steak for dinner tonight.
What kind of steak did you have?
I don't know, a steak.
That's not an answer. What
I
kind of
know.
cutlet?
I don't know. Like, it didn't have a bone in it. I don't think it was a strip.
Christy, I got to teach you some
Oh, I'm
things.
not good at meat. I'm sorry.
I
It tasted good. I cooked it on my little flat top thing.
I made cowboy ribeye last year in March or April of the pandemic. I ordered them online because I couldn't get meat anywhere, so I ordered like special. I'm like, I need meat.
I was re-listening to some old episodes for a thing I'm working on, and you were actually talking about your tomahawk steaks on the thing I listened to today.
They were fantastic. I
Oddly
miss those
enough.
things.
I was like, wait, I know this.
Yeah, I threw them on the grill. I was very proud. I indirectly cooked them most of the way through. So that's where you turn the burners on one side of the grill, but you put the meat on the other side
Hmm.
and close it, and you use your grill like an oven. And then, so I cooked it most of the way there, and you do that to cook it evenly.
Hmm.
And then, like the last 10, 15 minutes, I kicked the heat all the way up and threw them on top of the fire and seared them. They were like
I will have some.
chef's cakes.
Have you ever worked made anything in a Traeger?
You know what?
A Traeger? I know, I think that's the brand name. It's kind of like a smoker for all intents and purposes. There's something
So,
special about it. I don't really understand. All I
so
know is
I use Weber everything.
okay, yeah, no. So this is like this thing has like pellets. Um uh
I have a gas grill, a charcoal
mhm.
grill, and a smoker. And with the smoker, I will throw. I'll start it off with charcoal and get it up to the temperature I want. And then when the time comes, I'll pick the wood. I usually soak the wood in water for a couple of hours so it gets nice and wet and gets a better smoke like
Mhm.
content going on. I throw that on top of the charcoal. I have a little box that goes in and use that to infuse my meat. I have a mean rib thing I do. I brine my ribs in pickle juice,
Oh, I've heard of that.
and
I've never brined anything.
it gives them a nice sweet underlayer of flavor because pickle juice, if you have the right pickle juice, you know how sweet it can be.
Mhm.
I'm not like the bitter or anything, but like the sweet pickles. So I'll brine them in that, like a mixture of that and water, so it gives them the salt. It really infuses the meat. And then I
Mhm.
make my own dry rub. I hit it with the dry rub and let that sit overnight. Then I throw it on the smoker and hit it with usually like a hickory or something while I'm doing it.
You
Do like
are
4 to 6 hours.
making me so hungry.
So I took a picture. It's on my Instagram if you want to dig for it at some point. I
Johnny's
took
thirst traps.
I took a like Christy does her own thirst traps. My thirst traps are I took a picture of ribs and Weber, like of Weber Grills, Australia, liked my ribs, which I felt like that was a stamp of approval.
That is pretty good. No, so this thing I was trying to explain, it's a pellet grill. Um and a friend of mine before he moved down to South Carolina when he was going through his divorce, he kept a lot of his stuff at my house. One of these things was this thing, and part of his payment is he would bring over like these huge steaks or huge just cuts of meat and he would grill stuff in this rig for me. And he had all these different pellets, like with the different flavors. There was like a cherry barbecue one. There was, I think there was like definitely some kind of like mesquite and then like hickory and like apple stuff. And it was like anything that came out of this machine was like the best thing ever.
So we're gonna go for the best thing ever to what sounds like the trendiest and dumbest thing ever. But my newest thing is my parents got me an air fryer for
Um,
Thanksgiving.
am I the only person who doesn't have one of these?
Possibly.
I have like a kitchen gadget like fetish, and I don't have one of these. Like I'm doing something like I have all these slow cookers. I have an instant pot. I've got all these skillets, all blenders, and mixers, and all this stuff. And I have like a
Do you
professional
need
grade
one?
waffle maker.
You I have a professional grade waffle maker too. But the air fryer, I made burgers in it tonight,
Really?
and they came
Really?
out. Yeah,
Did they still were they fresh or frozen?
they were fresh burgers. I try not to freeze my beef.
Don't freeze your beef.
I don't freeze your beef. I try
Listen,
not to because
listen up,
freezers.
gentlemen.
So I learned this from my grandmother. Freezers suck the flavor out of your food to begin with. It doesn't matter as much with chicken because chicken doesn't have a lot of flavor to
Right.
begin with, and usually dress chicken up. But beef, it kills beef. So try not to freeze your beef.
I have a freezer full of beef.
You have a beef freezer.
I have a beef freezer. Nope, not making that joke. Anyway, air fryers are the best. Zach, you make wings in your air fryer, or like what, like pizza? You probably make pizza in your air fryer.
I've reheated pizza in my air fryer.
Of course you have. All right, so tell me like how big is the compartment here? Like what are we talking? Like how many wings can I fry?
So my parents got me the Cuisinart, which is good. One of the things that you want to look for, some of the air fryers, like the barrel shaped ones, the
Mm-hmm.
basket doesn't go all the way to the end. So you're using more counter space than space.
How many chicken nuggets,
I'm going to
John?
tell you, but I'm trying to tell you what to look for first in the air fryer. Christy.
I'm just gonna make you send me the link to the exact one you have so I can
So
buy
the
it.
Cuisinart basket goes pretty much to the edge. So
Okay.
I can get 5 wings to a row. I can get about 2 rows, and I can get maybe 3 wings if I point them in the other direction in that last bit of space.
But they're flat. You're not piling anything on top of each
I'm
other.
not flat,
Okay.
right? So like 13 wings or so you can get in there if you're crafty enough to do it.
It's like wing Tetris.
Well, no, it's like wing row, like that, and then
Dominoes.
there's a little bit of a remainder. So with the remainder, because you're fat like me, and you want to do one last little row, you get 3 more wings in there to get more. So do you do a baker's a dozen?
Wait, do you have the air fryer toaster oven?
Yes, I
John,
do.
this is astounding.
Yes,
Oh my god.
yeah, yeah. I am attracted to my air fryer toaster oven.
I mean, I get it. Holy cow, this is beautiful.
Would you like to share your screen and show it with the audience?
I will try to do
If you
that.
hit share screen and then you just click over to the Google tab, I'm going to walk you through it. This is Christy's first time sharing a screen, folks.
No, it's not. I've
Let's see how
done
you're
it.
doing it.
It's not my first time.
She's never even done it for work before.
No, I have so. I do it. I did it the other night. Everyone was watching me make a gnome village.
It seems like it's taking forever, Christy. Oh, there it
Well,
is.
this is
That's my
not.
toaster oven.
I can't believe you have this in your house. Like I want to make you like go get it.
I'm not carrying it upstairs. It's fucking huge. She's
John,
got a lot of real estate on the counter.
it's beautiful.
It's that beautiful in person. But it smells better when you put the food in it.
Wait, what colors does it come in? I
It
like
comes in silver.
and black, I think. I most of my appliances are red.
You can paint it.
I
Paint will chip
do
off with the heat.
have heat resistant paint in my house, but it's black.
I feel like that's a bad idea. You don't want to mess with this thing. You just want to call this thing daddy and call it a day.
I do want to call this thing daddy.
Corey has one
This
too.
is like
Corey, we
wait,
have to share
seriously?
recipes.
Corey is back in the running for
And,
the Canadian household that I move into.
and Zach Anderson has an air fryer too.
Yeah,
And
but
he
does
says
he
that
have
they're the
this
best.
one?
Probably not.
Does he probably has
And if I
like
go back in
this
comments
one?
long enough, I can make it look like Katie has one too. Katie says me too. I'm putting words in Katie's mouth right now, but I don't care. It looks like everywhere but Christy has an air fryer.
I need one.
Yeah, I use that thing more than I should. When I air fry my leftover pizza, Christy, I put it in the basket. I spray it with Pam. I put it in the basket. And I click it on the air fryer for like 5 minutes, and it crisps the crust and the cheese with like
John.
leaving melty cheese in the middle.
John, this is like I just I can't get this because I'm just gonna eat like French fries until I
Yeah, the
explode.
French fries came out outstanding today, and the onion rings, but the burgers were chef's kiss.
Oh my god, onion rings! I fucking love onion rings so much.
Corey has a Death Star waffle maker. Corey, we have to talk.
All right, so we're going to Corey's house.
Corey, I have a Han Solo in carbonite waffle maker.
I just have a regular circle waffle maker.
I
I
have
have a Darth Vader toaster.
I have something else. Oh, I have a Darth Vader waffle maker, and I have a regular waffle maker. I have
How
3 waffle
many?
irons.
What, are you running a restaurant?
I have daughters, and then when they do sleepovers, I bust out all three and go crazy.
That's hysterical.
Yeah, I
And
don't
that
mess.
just made me think of a video I had to watch like in health class as a child.
Daddy makes waffles.
No, it was so in this video, it was the video that they showed only to girls and it was about puberty, and in like the video there was a scene of these girls at a sleepover and like one of them got their period, and so the mom explained menstruation to them by pouring pancake batter on the griddle in the shape of like the uterus and the fallopian tubes and then like flipped it and it was just like big uterus pancake. And so that
I watched a man put a condom on a banana.
No, this is the video they showed to girls.
Right, I watched a man put a condom on a banana. You got pancakes. This is bullshit.
We got uterus pancakes.
I don't care what
We
shape they were in.
didn't get to
At the end
eat-
of the day, you got pancakes.
We didn't get to eat the
You're making
pancakes.
me so angry.
No, I know. It's literally like this is what now a
Katie
billion
is
years
disturbed,
ago. I'm still
And I want
disturbed
some
by it.
fucking pancakes.
I will look, Corey, if I can ever find it. I don't know. They showed us
Corey,
this in class.
You can YouTube it. YouTube probably has it.
I watched it in 1995.
Right, they have all the awesome old shit on YouTube. All of it.
It was probably really outdated then because that was not a great school district. But that was my introduction to public school. That was my first year in public school.
It makes me wish. I mean, nothing has ever made me wish I was a woman more than watching a uterus pancake video during puberty.
I'll have to find it. I do want, just because I try to tell this story as often as I can because I'm just waiting for the day where somebody is like, oh, that's really funny. Where somebody is like, oh my God, I had to watch that one too. And it's not happened.
I think that we can make a playlist. I'll try to make a playlist for a watch along of like a lot of these old kind of videos that we used to have to watch. You know, we can start with your brain on drugs and then go to uterus pancakes.
I think I'm buying an air fryer right now. It can be here by Saturday.
I'm excited for you. It's gonna change your life.
I know, but it's $200.
I said it. My parents gave it to me for Christmas. You should wait for a birthday or something.
Black,
Ask for
copper, cream, or silver.
I like
My birthday's not till June.
Don't give it away online. The people can steal your identity.
It's just June.
No!
Oh. Oh my. That was aggressive.
This button has so many uses.
It's it catches me off guard and genuinely, like I tweak something in my back being startled from that. Be gentle, I'm old.
If you're old, what am I?
Be like, I threw my back out. How did you throw your back out? I was doing a podcast with somebody and they hit a button and it made a noise that scared me. Sorry.
What button did they hit?
No.
No, he hit the no button. Walmart. That's Canada Walmart. Is that Canada money?
That's even less if it's Canada money. If he spent that's like $100
No,
American.
but now I'm really curious. Was he
Wait,
kind
do they have
enough?
different?
Wait, shut up. Was he kind enough to convert
Not
that?
me.
I want to know if he's being kind. Was he kind enough to actually do the conversion for us?
I don't think he was being kind. Corey's kind, but he's not mathful.
Corey is like the most kind.
I mean, Jeff's the most kind. Corey's like the second most kind.
No, Jeff's sweet. Corey's kind.
Okay, so we have the sweet one, the kind one. What's
Oh
Mark?
no, I'm not doing this.
What's Mark? Which one's Mark?
I don't know, what are the choices.
Well, so far we have sweet and kind. I don't know what the
What
choices
are my other choices?
You have to pick one.
At least
What-
when I gave you the boy band question, I gave you options to
what is-
assign everyone
I don't know.
to.
I don't know what this is. We have a sweet one and a kind one. What's a Mark?
No, I wasn't saying that's not all they are. I'm just saying my air fryer and the margin Doodles.
We
I
have
want to
to-
see it. Can you
we have
pull
to
that up?
Can I pull that up? I don't want to.
Oh, I know you
want to.
can, but will you please, my dear? So everyone can see. Share
I
with
don't-
the class.
I don't know if you know this, Christy, but I'm fucking lazy.
You're not lazy. You're not nearly as lazy as you think you are.
I'm lazier than I want you to believe I am.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know.
Wait, let's take bets. Is Zach's air fryer dirty?
No, but it has two baskets.
Oh, this is what he sent. I thought this was a picture from his kitchen.
This is weird.
It's a ninja. Oh, it's got baskets. But look, so those French fries are piled up on each other?
Yeah, which means that they're gonna come out soggy.
Zach, do
Right?
your French fries come out soggy?
No, they come out soggy because the moisture sits on top of each other.
I'm asking him who has
You
used
can't
the
pile
item.
shit like that.
But the chicken tenders are also stacked on each other?
Yeah, yeah. This all comes out soggy
Ninja.
like this. This is no good. I know
Ninja.
your deal, Zach.
It's a ninja.
I know your deal. Zach want so just to give you an idea, Christy, right?
That one's not even
Um,
in stock.
my air fryer and Corey's air fryer are cake.
You have cake?
No, 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 no. They are cake. And
Zach's calling you. Oh my god.
Zach's air fryer are cake up.
Oh, it's a callback. Boo, boo, boo,
Yeah. You
boo.
see how we did that? That was good, right?
He's boasting. Boasting. He has mastered the air fryer. Da da da. What are you doing over there?
I'm trying to make Super Bowl plans.
Oh, is that happening this year?
Yeah, so my dad's best friend sent me a hat. I'm gonna change it up. We'll do Super Bowl talk for a minute. My dad's best friend lives in Clearwater, which is right near Tampa. So I'm wearing this for Mark right now because I know this will make Mark very happy that I'm wearing this.
Oh, is that his team?
Yeah, this will make Katie very happy too because she's a Patriots fan.
Ooh, well, there's
Can you keep everybody busy for 1 second? I have to do something to cleanse this.
to cleanse.
To cleanse. Can you just
Okay. Yeah, no,
vamp,
that's fine. Yeah, I'll just
vamp for a
vamp.
minute? I'll be
Yep.
right back.
I don't believe you.
I promise.
You better. So John's gonna go cleanse himself. I don't even know what that means. Zach says I am now eating homemade frosting with graham crackers. That's like a real budget version of Dunkaroos, right? Is that what that is? Homemade frosting. Who made the frosting? Did Danielle make the frosting? I feel like you didn't make the frosting. And are the graham crackers just like typical cinnamon flavor or what? And then Katie, it's the Brady Bucks. So this is why. So your Patriots love did not disperse. It just got it just got relocated, I suppose. I get it. And I want answers. Danielle made the frosting. Vanilla frosting? Chocolate frosting? Are there sprinkles in the frosting? Is this like a funfetti situation? What are we dealing with here?
We almost had Corey here while you were
I
vamping.
saw that.
And then he decided, Corey, you can come back if you want. I just had to get a giant shirt to
He
balance
said
off
he was
the Brady
kind.
hat.
That
He
was
is,
the kind man.
he is kind. I agree with that.
Vanilla with cinnamon. Oh, that sounds really good. Danielle made vanilla with cinnamon frosting, and Zach is dipping graham crackers into it. Is that like dessert? What did you have for dinner? Wait, I thought you said you didn't make dinner. Who said that? Somebody said that.
I made
Just going
dinner.
to fill time. Oh,
Corey,
Corey
you
was
can
coming
come
to my
hang-
rescue.
Yeah, but he can come and hang out. I only had to go back to the closet to get the Bavaro shirt, the Bavaro jersey, because I'm
Corey,
wearing this hat.
Corey, get back here.
Yeah.
Corey, get back here.
Corey's just enjoying
don't
the
go-
show.
Don't go away.
You know, we're just cheering friends up right now.
Cheering friends up. Let's see. Did we cheer anybody up?
I probably not.
So once upon a time, I tried to. Did that? You didn't like that?
Yeah, I'll let you host. You can sit in the host chair.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, that's terrible.
You're the host now. It's
Oh,
Chris's show.
great. Oh, this is awful. So once upon a time, I tried to make frosting from a recipe that I found in one of my mom's like really old cookbooks, and it was called 7-minute frosting, and I was like, how hard could this be? But it was like 2 a.m, and my best friend and I were a little intoxicated in my mom's kitchen, and so we tried to do this, and we put all the ingredients into the bowl per the directions, and then we just started stirring it, and it's like stir for 7 minutes, and then it will be frosting, and it never ever got to be frosting. It just stayed like a weird, awful, runny glaze, and it was this horrible, like milky white color. So we started making really mature jokes about it that we still make to this day, like 20 years later.
That sounds delicious.
No, it wasn't delicious.
No?
But we didn't have frosting in the house, so we tried to improvise because we always baked cakes in the middle of the night.
So Corey's feeling better, which is good.
Oh, good.
Katie's much happier. I will say this: we aren't specifically on the air for any specific people. So if you feel like it's you, it might not be you. It might be somebody that you know, or it might be somebody that you don't know. And all of that is true for anybody in the chat. Maybe
Everybody's a mess.
I like to talk in riddles because I don't like to out any one person.
That's lovely. Zach eats like a toddler.
Yeah.
Zach had chicken nuggets, soggy air fryer chicken nuggets for dessert, and now he's dipping crackers into homemade frosting.
I had my burgers came out a little bit crisp on the edges, not even on top, but like on the edge came out a little bit crisp.
What's like the meat breakdown of this burger? What are we dealing with here?
I just got whatever the pre-made burger patties were at Uncle Giuseppe's.
It's like a lean beef or something with a little more.
No, I guess it's something with a little bit of fat because
Okay.
you need when you make a burger. If you get it just lean, it comes out dry.
Fat equals flavor.
Fat equals juice. Juice
And-
equals yum.
And delicious.
Okay, eat your
Burger
juice, kids.
juice.
Your juice is good.
Eat your juice.
So Corey thinks that we're here for Jeff.
I mean, there are a few things I would not do for Jeff.
So
But that's not the only reason I'm here.
let's talk about how we can help Jeff. Did you listen to Jeff's podcast?
My God.
Saunders?
It was so good. I listened to it first thing Monday morning, and it was amazing. He was so like open and candid, and he said a whole bunch of stuff that I probably needed to hear, and I loved it.
I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure Corey listened. I know I listened. But Zach and Katie and anybody else who happens to catch this after the fact, if you could go to the Feeding the Monster podcast feed and go seek out Mr. Saunders' Sandbox. It was the first episode that aired on Monday this week. Jeff Saunders, who does our Hillbilly Scribs and is a wonderful human being, did the most sincere podcast I think I've ever listened to, and just opened his heart up and set some goals for 2021. One of those goals is Jeff has been divorced for several years, and this is no spoiler because it's worth listening to the entire podcast. But one of the portions was Jeff wants to start dating again. And I think Christy and I, at some point, are
going to date him.
I mean, Christy's going to date him. And
No, John is going to date him.
I'm going to be his...
we are going to throuple.
I mean, okay, but I will Iceman him. Which means I will be his wingman.
Which is probably a more sensible idea than what I have just come up with.
Look, I'm on my way out of this relationship, and I am not running. See that bothered you now, right?
I give up my seat.
Corey definitely listened to the show, and it helped him with stuff going on in his life. And I am very happy for Corey that helped, and I think it was remarkable. To answer Christy's question, I am on my way out of a relationship. And the one thing I'm not running into is, as much as I appreciate your offer for a throuple, I'm in what you call the non-commitment zone right now, and I will probably be there till I'm 80. I went all in on this marriage, and I crashed hard. So I will probably not be following up on that anytime soon. What I will be doing is probably playing a lot of chess solitaire, I would think.
Bachelor man.
Yeah,
playing solitaire.
Yeah, I think whatever bachelors do for fun, I'm not sure what they do, but I would assume.
I think they send me DMs.
Yeah, no, I won't be doing that.
Don't be that guy.
No.
Don't be that. Listen, if you're ever going to send a message, run it by me first.
No, I promise you, if I start sending people messages in their DMs, it will be about hair cleavage. right? Like, I will be very open and honest about that fetish. Why are we getting rid of Zach?
We
I'm gonna have
both.
a hoe face. I don't like to garden, Zach. I
Ho, ho,
don't.
ho.
I just bitch. I started the show bitching to Christy that I don't want to shovel, and you want me to hoe my yard or something. That's not gonna happen.
You're
And
gonna be a farmer. All men go through like a farmer phase.
so I tried that when we moved in and we were trying to mend fences and stuff. My dad's an expert gardener. My dad grows some of the biggest vegetables you've ever seen. Fantastic garden. He grows white eggplant that comes out amazing. I turn it into eggplant parm. It's delicious. Um, I tried to garden one time and the animals ate all my stuff.
Is it true that if you don't cook eggplant right, you can get sick?
I don't know if you get sick, but it comes out like shit.
Oh, okay. I thought I read somewhere that if you didn't do a certain something, you could get sick from it and
I
maybe
don't know because
die.
I've been cooking eggplant for like 20 years and
I,
nobody told
f-
me
I
a specific
figured.
way to cook it, and I've never gotten sick from it. I
What
know I've
happens?
undercooked it a couple of times.
What happens if I Google dangerous eggplant?
You're going to get penis pictures.
No. Is raw eggplant poisonous? False. There we go. There we
See?
go.
I told you it was fine.
But the leaves of the plant can be toxic. But I'm not the only one who wanted to know. It was right here on the internet, and there was no like
It
dick
must be
pictures.
true.
John, it was from a very reliable source. That
Christy,
is
is raw eggplant toxic?
no.
No. No.
Damn it.
I keep forgetting you have that button.
I do. It's I block it out instantly, which is my mistake. I need to put a post-it note up here. John has a no button. Don't say. I thought we were supposed to yes and. This button has no home here.
No means no.
So rude, John. So rude.
So it was given to me because I thought I would have trouble saying no to my girls. It's very true. I'm glad I found it like 10 years too late,
Yeah.
right?
But if only you had found it sooner, then it wouldn't be here greasing us with its presence.
Yeah, we sold the second Xbox this week back to GameStop. It was sad.
What did they give you for it?
$75 for an Xbox One.
Is that good? Is that awesome? I feel like
Feels
that's
like
awesome.
I feel like that's bad.
I feel like I have no idea how old that is or what it is. I've never had an Xbox.
Yeah, all I know is that it turned into a Mario Kart game for their Wii and two Wii steering wheels.
Oh, there you go. I have a Wii and I have a 64. Those are my gaming systems.
They asked for a Wii for Christmas, and we had to go find one.
No, yeah, I do recall this adventure.
Yeah, and then we bought it used from like Sears, Chicago.
I love my Wii. I was just playing it earlier. I was playing Mario 2 again.
I miss my Xbox One. So we have two. We sold theirs. I have mine still, but I just finished moving up into my bedroom, and I'm waiting on a TV. My buddy's gonna bring over and help me mount on the wall so I can play my Xbox again.
Oh boy.
And I'm never leaving mini fridge and toilet, and I'm never leaving my room or my floor.
That's probably not a good idea.
Why? I have an exercise bike and everything.
I disapprove of this. We need to get you out into the sunshine.
I can open my window shades. Why am I going outside?
Fresh air. Maybe we should start walking again. Maybe we should get back into our walking habits.
We never walked.
You used to walk. You used to walk all around the town. I'll get on my bicycle. You grab your boombox.
I used to walk
outside the
with
neighborhood.
a crowd of people and hang out. I have nobody to hang out with.
We'll
I'm
go out
walking by
and
myself.
yeah,
Everybody
but
I know, like you're one of the closest people I know to me. You're 2 hours away, right? I know Katie's like 5 hours away. Corey's like 17 hours away. Zach Anderson is in Guam for all I know. Now I've bored you.
you're not bored me. I like to yawn. How you cook amazing things. Oh yeah, you don't have a kitchen in there. Oh, you're gonna move your air fryer oven into there.
No, I'm just gonna DoorDash everything. I give up on cooking.
Then can I have your air fryer?
No, I'm not gonna give it away.
But
I
you
love
gave up on cooking. You're not using it.
to give away my air fryer. I already
John,
got a second Xbox.
wicked fa.
Yeah. She is wicked fa.
Wicked
They
fa.
give you an idea of how wicked fa she is. She got excited on put on a Tom Brady hat. I can wear a Tom Brady hat because Eli Manning beat him twice.
That's not even a Tom Brady hat.
It is. That's what my dad said, but it is a Tom Brady hat.
That's sad.
It is a Tom Brady hat. That's a Tom Brady logo now. They don't get to the Super Bowl without him. That's a Tom Brady hat.
I don't listen, like Tom Brady, he's not a real person. He's a creation.
He is a backup to Drew Bledsoe, who did very well for himself.
He's not
He is
a
he is
human.
he is a QB. He was mortal at least 3 February days so far, probably 4 after Sunday.
I don't even know who they're playing in the Super Bowl.
Pat Mahomes.
Who is that?
Um,
Is that a team? That's not a team. What's the team name?
the Kansas City Pat Mahomes is coached by Andy Reid. Pat Mahomes has an arm made out of a catapult, legs made out of Broncos, and a quarterback brain made out of Vince Lombardi.
Andy Reid, he used to coach a different team.
He used to coach a team that shall not be named, that is hometown to
Yeah, no, I know.
the cheesesteak.
It caused me a couple of rough nights.
Yeah.
I remember him. I know that name.
Yeah. And he will cause Tom Brady a rough night on Sunday. And I will be okay with it. I will be rooting for Mr. Reed because he is a fine gentleman who knew enough to leave town and go somewhere else where I can cheer him on.
Fair.
Because we love nothing more than to cheer a fat man on Sunday.
Who doesn't like a nice fat man?
I mean, you have a Santa Claus thing, right?
I mean, yeah, well, like, what do you mean, like, thing?
Like you love Santa.
I mean, yeah, like, in a super platonic way. I don't know, like, a Santa Claus, like, thing.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Have you seen Christmas Chronicles?
Yeah.
Me too. I have a Santa Claus thing.
All right, well, that's like a different kind of Santa Claus thing.
I just want to point out to you. Have you seen Santa Claus Chronicles?
Yeah.
I may or may not have had a thing for Mrs. Claus many times in my life.
Yo, Mrs. Claus bothered me. Her face does not move proper.
No, not anymore. Mrs. Claus messed up her face.
That was hurtful because, like, I used to watch Overboard over and over again, like, as a kid. I loved that movie.
Can I tell you, Wildcats is now on HBO Max, and I'm going crazy because it's the first Woody Harrelson, Wesley Snipes movie.
Sure.
Do you know Wildcats?
No.
So Goldie Hawn becomes the head coach of the high school football team in like the early 80s. And like, a woman's coaching football? And like nobody goes for it. And then like the team falls in love with her, and it's amazing.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, it's a really good movie. It's a good football movie, and it's just a good movie. And it's the first time Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes worked together. They would famously work together in a couple of more movies. Most famously, White Man Can't Jump.
That one I've seen.
Yeah.
That one I've seen. Oh, it's from '86. Yeah, there's no way I would have seen this.
It's so good though. Like, you should see it.
I will keep it in mind.
I had a fun idea for us to try at one point for watch-alongs, but we'd have to really invest into it.
Uh-oh.
Because it's crazier than I thought, and not everything that I say on the air we have to do or commit to right away.
Are we watching along the new Frasier series?
Probably not.
Maybe me and Mark.
Maybe you and Mark. What I was thinking is maybe we could off-air watch along Tom Hanks's movie career,
Holy
and then
shit.
on air talk about it.
I mean, obviously, I don't hate that.
But I don't even know if we could find all of his movies.
Yeah,
I know we can find a lot of them, but I don't know if we can find all of them.
Well, all of Tom Hanks should be available to everyone, so now I gotta look into this.
But it's a possibility and something I'm mulling over because I do love me some Tom Hanks. And while I appreciate Frasier, Frasier's a little dry for me. You got me to say I appreciate it. Yes, Corey,
Yeah.
including Bachelor Party. Yes, all of it.
Which I don't like that gif.
Which gif?
Isn't that one from? No, don't do it.
Don't do what? I'm
Don't.
I'm not I'm not
You
doing
know what
anything.
know what you're doing.
I don't have any Tom Hanks gifts.
You
What are you talking
have
about?
you have many. It's my favorite thing in the whole world.
I have no Tom Hanks gifts.
You do have Tom Hanks gifts.
I would never put a Tom Hanks gif up on here that you don't like.
That's not true. This one makes me uncomfortable.
Does it?
I like this one.
I think they're adorable.
No, you're gonna do it.
I am not.
You're
gonna
running
do
out.
it.
I don't think there it is. Oh, it's hurtful. It's so upsetting. Oh God, it's distasteful.
I mean, that's Bachelor Party.
You know, I barely remember that movie. It's been a long time. I
but-
have the nice thing about me is so like I don't watch a lot of movies. Like I'm not up on a lot of movies, but I have like a pretty bad memory for stuff like that. So I feel like I get to have the experience of watching a movie for the first time several times.
So, what is your favorite Tom Hanks movie?
I can't answer that question. I did that podcast with Corey, and I picked Castaway just because you got the most Tom Hanks for your buck in that movie. And I really do like that movie. I think there's a lot to it. Green Mile, I like a lot. I was a really big fan of those books, and mixing Tom Hanks and Stephen King was kind of like a big deal for me. I do like Forrest Gump, or at least I think I do. I haven't seen it in a long time. I recently rewatched Philadelphia for the first time in a long time last year, and I forgot how, like, I think the first time I saw it, I didn't have, like, the maturity to really understand that movie. So I got a lot more out of it that time. A League of Their Own is definitely like a classic. And then even though he's only in it for a little bit, I absolutely adore That Thing You Do. I'm obsessed
Yeah, but
with that
that's
movie.
all Tom Hanks because he wrote. And directed.
I know. So even though it's only his face for a little bit, he's all over it. Conversely, I'm not a big Polar Express fan.
That's fair. That's creepy.
That's my dad's Christmas Eve movie. Like he has to watch it every Christmas Eve, and I'm like, really? Of like okay. It's like a little off-putting. And there's a lot of Tom Hanks in that one, but it's not the right kind of Tom Hanks.
I just got a message. Katie's going to bed. Have a good night, Katie.
Good night, Katie.
Thanks for joining us. So I think I have a big top 3 for Tom Hanks. Hearing all your movies, I agree with a lot of them, but I feel like my quintessential Tom Hanks, and I'll start with I guess number 3.
I can't believe you can even put number on them because I really just want to say the name of like 12 more movies.
I could absolutely put numbers on them because these to me are like if I had to introduce a human being who doesn't know Tom Hanks, these are the 3 movies I would pick. And my number 3 is Sleepless in Seattle.
Oh God, I love that movie so much.
And he is so damn good in that movie. And what's great is the best scene in that movie for him is mostly on Meg Ryan's face as he's telling his story. And it's just his voice acting against her reaction. And the two of them working together in that scene, that sells the entire movie.
I just got chill. I think he's like, he was just taking her hand to help her out of the car.
Right? Katie says, bye, guys. Good night, Katie. Thank you. So that's my number 3. My number 2 quintessential Tom Hanks. And it's part performance and it's part story. And a lot of it is chemistry with Robert Loggia. Is big.
That's a good one.
Is big. It is a very underrated movie. They're like, oh, is that the one where the kid gets old? Yeah, it's one of the body swap movies. but it's so much more than that, and it's so much more than that because of Elizabeth Perkins, because of Tom Hanks, because of the kid who plays Hanks's best friend.
No, he's really good in that movie.
Like they're all just so good in it,
I
and it's
have
got
that
Rye
one.
Playland
I have that one on VHS.
and FAO Schwartz. It makes FAO Schwartz special, right?
Mhm.
Like we all
Yeah.
wanted to go to FAO Schwartz, and I went several times after that movie
Yeah.
because of that movie.
And that was like going to Playland as a kid. Like that was like a huge selling point for my parents to be like, "You've been there. You've been to that place." And I'm like, "Well, where's the machine?" Oh, Corey, hot take.
I mean, I'll go. I'll touch on that, Corey. After I get to my number one, there's two of them I want to touch on that aren't considered Hanks classics, but I will defend till the end of time. My number one you mentioned is A League of Their Own, and that is to me the quintessential Hanks performance.
Yeah.
Hanks as a drunk, Hanks as an unlikable character for the first time in his career, right? Like he really is. Like there's not a lot of redeeming qualities about Jimmy Fox, right? Or
Jimmy Dugan.
he's based on
Jimmy Dugan.
Jimmy Fox, the baseball player.
Jimmy Dugan.
He's he doesn't have a lot of redeeming qualities. He's a very selfish individual in the movie. He's a drunk. He pees an extraordinary long amount of time. He yells too much. He yells about crying. He's not sensitive. But
My favorite thing is when he insults the ref and he's like, "Did anyone ever tell you look like a penis with a little hat on?"
my favorite thing is that you just called the umpire the ref.
Oh Jesus. Oh God, my dad's an umpire. He's gonna kill me.
I wasn't even nice about it. Like I didn't like private message you. Like you like correct. Just no.
You know what I meant.
I do. I knew exactly what you meant, and you're right. It is a great scene. I love when the bus driver gives up and he yells, and it's so indeterminable what he says.
Oh yeah.
I was like, what he said?
Is that English?
Is that English?
She's so good in that movie. I love her in that movie.
They all are. Madonna's great in that
Yeah.
movie. Rosie O'Donnell is. Marla Hooch.
Gina Davis is like a stone fox. Oh my God.
Gina Davis and Lori Petty's chemistry in that movie is underrated.
But you said Marla Hooch, who is like the best thing that has ever happened to a movie ever. That scene where she's liquored up in the bar and she's singing that song, I have imitated that so many times, like to my dog. I will do that alone with my dog, and I'll just start singing that song really off key.
It's Megan Kavanaugh. I just looked it up. I want to make sure I get the name right. No, because Megan Kavanaugh had a good like 2-movie run here for me. Mm-hmm. She steals the show as Marla Hooch, and then she plays Maid Marian's chambermaid or whatever in Robin Hood Men in Tights. And
oh shit! I never realized that was the same person. She's amazing.
She's amazing in that, right? Like, watch those as like a double feature.
She's like, it's not my feet. I just washed them. I love her.
And that's why I wanted to make sure I said her by name, because it's not just one movie I love her in. There are 2 movies where I feel like she has all-time great roles in.
I had no idea that was the same person. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's Megan Kavanaugh, and if you go watch those 2 movies, and this isn't normally the movie show or anything, but we give credit where credit is due.
You need to watch these movies or you can't watch us again.
Right. So now, circling it back to Corey's point, right? So now you have my 3 quintessential Hanks movies. But there are 2 movies in Hanks' early 90s run right before he hits Philadelphia that people considered or a few movies where they considered his career over. One of which was Bonfire of the Vanities, which if you go back, I think holds up better than it did at the time. It just doesn't compare favorably to the book.
I don't think I've seen that one.
But it bombed at the box office, and it was considered like the end of his career. Because the movies that preceded that were Joe versus the Volcano and The Burbs.
I like The Burbs.
And I will defend both of these movies for different reasons. The Burbs subverts your expectations and is a very dark early 90s comedy about suburbia and about not trusting your neighbors, not knowing a lot about your neighbors, and now living in the suburbs.
Oh, that's why I like it so much.
I feel like I'm living this movie every day. Um, I really like Rick. I think it's Rick Dukeman plays his best friend in it,
Mm-hmm.
and um, his untrusting ways and wanting to like climb into the Klopex's yard and do all this stuff. I've had neighbors like this. I've had friends like this, where we don't trust the neighbors and we try to conspire together. And I've kind of found myself in the Tom Hanks role more than a few times.
Like
And
you think you're in Rear Window.
yeah, it's also Corey Feldman's last great role of his career. Corey Feldman plays the neighbor. Hey, the pizza dude's coming,
Yeah.
right? Like, there's some really great stuff he's doing in there as like this stone neighbor, pretty much playing Corey Feldman,
Mm-hmm.
which is a lot of fun. But to Corey's point, Joe versus the volcano. I think that we get two of the great '90s romantic comedies of You've Got Mail and Sleepless in Seattle because of that, because of the chemistry
Yeah.
he shows with Meg Ryan in that movie. I have referenced the opening scene of that movie with the flickering fluorescent light bulb in the leaky basement job with several of my crappy jobs before I've gotten into like the corporate side of my career. So I think that there's things that are still relevant today that we can reference in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
I will defend. I think Meg Ryan is hamming it up great in all of these different roles, playing the lead woman throughout Joe's journey. Is the plot kind of dumb? Does it have cultural misappropriation? Does it have some problems? Sure, but it's still a lighthearted and fun movie.
I feel like the last time I saw that movie was like 15 years ago, so my memory is pretty sparse.
I was unemployed. I got laid off 2 years ago, and in it, I rewatched a couple of my favorite Hanks movies. This being one of them,
Mm-hmm.
Money Pit being another one.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah,
I didn't. I liked that one a little bit more and a little bit less in different like avenues after I bought a house.
yeah. It becomes a little bit more relatable. Like 2 weeks.
Yeah. Actually, I joke all the time because I have to replace my upstairs bathtub and I'm just waiting to go through the floor. So,
So I need to explain something to young Zach. Young Zach, I know Men in Tights is your guilty pleasure favorite Mel Brooks movie, but in fairness, it's Dave Chappelle's first movie. So in hindsight, it's no longer a guilty pleasure movie and just an enjoyable
it's
movie,
just lovely.
right? Because Chappelle goes from there to make Half Baked, which is also
Good
exquisite.
night, Corey.
Good night, Corey. We'll miss you. So we've been going for about an hour and 40 minutes, and we're down to, I think, you and Zach watching us.
I'm not watching us.
Oh, you're not? So we have somebody else spying on us who's being
We
quiet?
have a spy. Or maybe is Corey still here?
Somebody's watching us.
Oh, I hope they have pants on.
I hope they're eating pancakes. Uterus pancakes.
Uterus pancake. I'm gonna
I hope
find
they
that
just turned in
video.
and don't know what uterus pancakes are.
I need to.
Oh, you're looking up uterus pancakes?
Uterus pancake video. Let's see what happens if I Google this. I'm gonna. Oh my God! It's right there. Always changing, always growing. 1997 puberty. No, that can't be right. 97 can't be right.
It could be right.
No, because I watched it in 95. Hold on.
No, but it could have been uploaded or something by then.
No, but that's just how they. I mean, they tagged it. You're right. It could be mislabeled. I'm gonna try to do this. I agree with Zach. Also, I love him. I loved him from that movie, and then he was in Saw, which spoke to my little horror-loving heart. Oh my God, I think this is it.
Wait, a whore-loving heart, is that a whore's heart that loves? Or is that...
Horror.
Oh, okay.
Horror.
Okay, so let me ask you a question because now I'm sidetracked. If somebody said my whore-loving heart, okay, is that a heart that loves whores, or is that I'm a whore and I love?
I don't know.
Now I'm confused, right? What is a horror-loving heart? That you love horror?
My heart loves horror.
Okay, so then it would be your heart loves whores.
Whores.
Well, it's the way you say horror. That's not my fault.
Horror.
You say horror. My horror-loving heart.
Horror.
That's not what you said. We can rewind the tape later.
No, I know. I like have a mush mouth. I know.
I didn't mishear that.
No, you didn't. Damn it. Anatomical pancakes. Sorry. He's also Evil King. Wait, hold on. What was that?
He's also the Evil King in Ella Enchanted, and
Oh, I've never seen that.
yeah, is that an Anne Hathaway movie?
Anne Hathaway. Ella. Anne Hathaway. Is that the Princess Diaries lady?
Yeah, I think so. It's Catwoman.
She in another one of those movies then?
She's in one of my favorite kaiju movies. Do you know that?
Do you have no? I'm not familiar with kaiju.
Do you know what a kaiju is?
Is that like Godzilla the kaiju?
Yeah.
I know that much.
Hang on.
I'm literally watching videos about maxi pads right now.
So I just want to get the year right. In 2017 or so, Anne Hathaway and Jason Sudeikis made a movie called Colossal about a kaiju in Korea, which is actually a really amazing movie and fun to watch.
Kaiju in Korea.
Yes. And I highly recommend it. I think you'll enjoy it. It's not a standard Godzilla movie. It's a quirky movie.
Oh my god, there's a whole Reddit thread about this.
What?
The pancake uterus video.
Don't go to Reddit. Reddit's trash.
But it says, searching for the pancake video shown to girls as part of the Becoming a Woman talk. So this is someone from Texas who was looking for it. Sorry.
Christy has now gone down a Reddit rabbit hole at the end of our episode.
I know I'm the worst. I'm so sorry. I apologize immensely. I will do this on my own time.
Zach Anderson loves Carrie Elways. Carrie Elways is superb.
He is.
He is. Princess Bride, Robin Hood Men in Tights, Saw. These are classics. Christy, do you have anything else you want to tell our audience tonight of Zach?
Our audience of Zach. Make pancakes tomorrow for breakfast.
Yes. Zach, what you need to do is spend your night studying the uterus so you can make pancakes tomorrow. If I could leave you guys with any words of wisdom, it would be that stale Boston cream donuts tend to last
God,
forever.
it still has the donut. Ew, how long has it been oozing like that?
I don't know, but I feel like it's going to start moving on its own in a minute. Like, look at that. That doesn't feel healthy at this point.
I feel like there's...
I've covered it up and forgotten about it.
It
went from appetizing to like, John, maybe don't eat that.
I literally never thought it was appetizing, by the way.
Well, I just want to, let's see. Zach needs to get up at like 3 a.m. Seeing as he clocks into work at 6 a.m. So it takes Zach 3 hours to make pancakes. Zach, you need to learn how to make pancakes faster.
Oh, see, so here we go. Here's an article where all these people are looking for this video, and somebody claims to have been searching for it for nearly 2 decades, and they say, from what I can tell, no one has successfully found it. No YouTube uploads, only references to it everywhere.
We will find it on the dark web. So Christy and I are going to leave you guys now and go search the dark web.
I hope you dream about anatomical pancakes.
I just want you to know that we are on the dark web looking for uterus pancakes.
We are.
Find us next time.
The dark web.
When we make penis waffles. You guys have a great night.